Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the mic check. You got me now? God, I don't know why I've got reverb. Like it's coming through my ears. What is going on here? Let me go check my. Am I good? Okay, well, that's weird because I can hear myself in my own ears. I'm gonna have to play with that. So, like I was saying, it's definitely my Monday. I was bitching, like, this is my Monday. Yes, sound. Okay. Yeah, it's just a matter of working out the kinks, which is crazy because I touched nothing, like literally did a show on Friday, walk away, come back, and this is what happens. The joys of, engineering on the fly, but we'll figure it out. We did figure it out. Okay, yeah, I hear myself. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's try this again. So, welcome to my Monday. Obviously, it is my Monday. I was bitching about the lawnmowers in the background, but obviously, you guys couldn't hear the lawnmowers, so we're good. I'm a little crazy because I haven't slept in a couple of days. Because, yeah, audio is always devil because I have a sinus infection. So, I just feel like I literally feel like I'm high and I've smoked no weed. Like, I just feel like in this foggy bubble this morning. So, this is going to be a fun show. I got lots of stuff to talk about, lots of stuff I don't want to talk about. I'm sure you guys all know what that is. And I got a busy week. Of course, I'm going to feel like crap on one of my busiest weeks. But, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? Now let's get through the mundane shit. Here we go. Fair use. Please go out there. If you're interested in a topic I talk about, go out, do your own research and form your own opinion. Don't use my opinion. You use your own. And if everybody did that, the world would be a better place. Good morning, chat. Diggs BTW7. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. John Kemper's in the house. DJ Yona. DJ, hi, Yona. I have a hard time following you, Yona, because man, you get slapped around by the censors, but I managed to keep track of you thanks to some of our friends, Jilly Love, and of course, Extra Bola. Uncle Warren is in the chat. Uncle Warren, you got to come by the show. I need an update on your launching of your candidacy, what your plans are. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. So, DC's here. Thank you, DC. DC is like my backup sound person. Patty and NYC, thanks for joining us. Kate's here. Jax, honey, my mom was a nurse, and I just got to tell you, she was a trauma room nurse for 15 years at a big general hospital. And one day she just came home and quit her fucking job. And she went and got a flagging job for the power company where she stood on the side of the road and flagged while they laid lines. She was never happier. I mean, she loved medicine. She loved it, but she just got beat down by the bureaucracy. It's a tough job, honey. Hang in there. Let's see. Who else do we got in the chat? Kate. Of course, Jilly. Jilly, thank you so much for sending me so much. Anthony. You know what, Anthony? I had your signs on the deck the other day and we just forgot to call them out. I so apologize. We get so busy and we just have so much content. So I left them on the deck so we could talk about it next Saturday. I love your anti-NATO one. Beautiful sign. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. This is how we do it, right? We have to push back. And that means we do it at the local level. And, I've learned now after 8 years of grandiose and thinking that we could go inside the Democratic Party and change it from the inside. And hey, if we just went and told our elected representatives that we're not happy, we can change this shit. But boy, was I delusional. But I have seen, working at all these different levels, because I worked at the local level, the state level, and the national level, that you really can affect what's going on in your community. I know it's hard, especially for me, because the local Dems have got me in their sights. I mean, and so what do? Go hang out with the Republicans, which I have. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the last few meetings I've had a lot of Republicans there. But, we need to push these resolutions that say no CBD. We need to push these resolutions that doesn't let these big fucking chemical cartel into our little small towns to poison us. We know exactly. Let's see. Let's get to if you guys want to help me out, man, the end of the month sucks. Buymeacoffee.com/trailerpark. It sucks at the end of the month when you don't have your ands. I call them ands, like coffee and creamer. Like, toast and butter. So it helps me keep those ands, and you guys help me keep the lights on for another year for Beauty and the Boomer. And thank you so much. All of our new licenses are rolling in, and we're going to talk about that. A lot of YouTubers think they're going to fly under the radar and not have to report to the IRS, but as me and Brave New Futures, Amber King, have been reporting to you for years now, they are weaponizing the IRS. So we got our shit straight really early. And that is why Roar Media is the nonprofit. So if you want to donate to Roar Media, Women in Independent Media, please head over to the Rockfin. You can give a super ray over there. And that goes to the nonprofit, which is just here to help lift independent voices, women in media. We did that so that we're a nonprofit, they can tack us, but at least we got kind of a little bit of an umbrella shield there. And then of course Beauty and the Boomer and our YouTube channels, those are separate. Those we pay taxes on and we report on, so we got our shit straight. So up yours, IRS. And PayPal. I love PayPal. PayPal is just like getting a birthday present. Like, ooh, boom, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Okay, let's get this show started. I'm telling you guys, I'm having a rough day. Okay, so this day in history, we had a lot of crazy shit happen on this day in history. Okay, so let me see if I put my glasses on. Maybe I can see these a little better. 1930, Constantinople is renamed Istanbul. I've always wanted to go there. I know Fiorel Isabel got to go. I still want to go someday. It's supposed to be a cat city, like cats rule the city, like they worship cats there. And the history there. You guys know how much I love history. What was I listening to last night? The history of Scotland. I always hate listening to history when I go to sleep. And I would love to go see it. Let's see, on this day in history, 1969, Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th president, died at 78. Didn't he let the military-industrial complex come in and the CIA, and then he was like, oh, shit, they're bad. He did warn us. 1973, American troops evacuate Saigon. Yeah, if you want to call it that. They ran for their lives. 1974, they found the Terracotta Army. Remember the Terracotta Army? God, those things are so interesting. And not to forget 1979, 3 Mile Island meltdown happens. Our own personal Chernobyl that we were never told about. Oh, it's safe. You're fine. I mean, even 20 years later, they were trying to tell you it wasn't a big deal. Oh, that was weird. Why is Twitter popping up? Anyways, we know better now, right? Definitely. And that's why we got to fight to keep, these poisons away from us, because as we know, our agencies are not here to protect us. The EPA, the EPA doesn't work for us, man. It works for the chemical cartels, and we know that. Oh, so headlines I don't care to cover. Ugh, this one's always killed my soul. Always. So Biden is fulfilling Trump's cruel policy of the wild horse roundups, record-breaking roundups on the iconic Western Mustangs as a gift to ranching and mining interest. Yes, get those beautiful creatures off our property. We need it. Ugh, it's heartbreaking to me. If you have never watched one of these roundups, it will rip your fucking heart out. They're such beautiful, majestic creatures, and do we expect anything less from Biden? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Why? Because it's the Uniparty. They all answer to the same corporate overlords and, yeah, the same mining interest and ranchers, right? They don't want those horses on their land. So terrible. It is terrible. I want to shout the Rockfin out before I forget. Yeah, Istanbul was once. Oh, I like that, Fred, because I would like to just call it in Istanbul. Fred Edwards is making pancakes. Hey, Fred. Popeye the Sailor's hanging out over there. Hi, Popeye. Who else is over here? Oh, no, now it's locking up on me. Boy, I'm having a morning. Popeye. Kate's hanging out over there, too. How's everybody's Tuesday going? I hope well. And, oh, I should probably bring the Rumble up. You guys know we're on Rumble. Airwaves. Kate, you guys are hanging out over there. We appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. As you know, YouTube's been doing some funky stuff. I mean, even worse than what they normally do. And I've talked to quite a few content creators who are in our space that are just losing followers every day. They're just pulling 20, 30, 40, 50 away. And I guess that's their new approach. Like, well, if they don't have anybody to listen to them, then they're not a problem, right? So make sure that you are still subbed. If you're subbed over on the YouTubes, please, and hit that like, and that helps us get in the algorithm. I know I'm bad about reading comments. I do go in and read them, but I just don't have a lot of time. So if you guys want to leave a comment, eventually, maybe a month from now, I might get to it. I promise I'm going to try to get better. Hi, Lizzie. Oh, I woke up this morning and put my Assange hoodie on. I love my hoodie. Let's see. Yeah, Lakota, thank you. Popeye the Sailor just dropped a nice link, it looks like. So go check that out. Okay, this headline I hate, guys. I'm gonna cover it, but not for much, and I really don't want to get into it. It just kills my soul. So, breaking: NBC News is reporting and identifying the 28-year-old Nashville shooter as Audrey Hale, a biological female that identifies as he, him, or them on their LinkedIn. Authorities believe the transgender shooter previously attended the Christian school, with reports that all of the social media has been taken down. So this is terrible. The trans issue, he sadly will always be identified as a female mass shooter now. That's the legacy that he got by what he did. But the shit libs have to come out in droves over this. Of course, everybody's screaming about gun control, which we're always, talking about. I was watching a documentary the other day. What was it called? The War Against Us, I want to say. It was, it was for To Hell and Back. I always watch that stuff about what the CIA is doing. And it was really shocking to me to hear that. Do you know we had 2,000 bombings a year in the 70s? Like just lawyers' offices, whatever. That's just shocking to me. I was just like, wow. I mean, was that a sign of the times? Was it whoever was involved in pumping it up, if you know what I mean? 3-letter agencies. I don't know, but I just found that shocking because that's not it. That's not an issue nowadays in America, right? So is this similar? I don't know. But David Pakman had to come out there with his BS opinion of it. And yeah, this is what he had to say. Very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian church, given the lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. It is possible that we weren't praying enough or correctly, despite being a Christian school. How fucking stupid are you? How fucking nobody ever blames a lack of prayer. They always send their prayers and thoughts. That's the difference, jackass. Breaking, the Nashville shooter Audrey Hale identifies as a man, meaning that the initial news reported reckless misgendering of him. Retweet if you agree that misgendering is never okay. You know what? This is a fucking mass murderer. Knock it off. Knock it off. No, no, no. I'm just so over this crap. Democrats have to, David Hackman. Yeah. Democrats just always got to politicize this shit, and they're going to. I was on Friday, I was doing research for Beauty and the Boomer, right? We have the cream of bullshit section where we go and we get a clip from CNN and we get one from Fox and then we get one from MSNBC. And when I was hanging out on CNN, I saw David Hogg and I was like, what? That's weird. Why is he out doing the rounds? Like, that's kind of strange. Well, here you go. Here you go. I'm not saying anything because we learned with the Alex Jones days, don't say shit, but question everything. That's all I'm saying. Question everything. So I'm just going to move on. I hate that story. I don't want to cover that story. But, and I do want to remind you of this from 2 weeks ago. Remember when Jane Fonda said people should go out and murder pro-life Christians? I do. She said that on The View and national television just like a week and a half ago. I don't know. Must be just a quinky dink. What do you guys think? Quinky dink? Yeah, Pac-Man is such a douchebag. Just a total douchebag. Shit all over Christians while you're at it, right? Oh my gosh. He or she wrote a manifesto. Yes, yes. Yes, Jilly, we hear there's a manifesto. There was maps. Sadly, from the moment that I heard it happen, I called the psychology on this one. I was like, oh, they probably went to that school. They were probably, picked on or bullied. Yeah. I have a 10-year-old granddaughter. I have a 5-year-old grandson. The thought of this just fucking terrorizes me, that we send them off to school and then they don't come home. I mean, as a society, we got a lot of problems, guys. I mean, we can't just blame it on one thing. You can't just say, oh, it's the guns. Oh, it's the video games. Oh, it's the psychotropic drugs, which I'm going to tell you, in October, I had a hormonal imbalance hit me, and I have never, ever had something affect my mood more in my goddamn life than having a hormonal imbalance. And I mean, I can demise that this person was probably taking some hormone replacement therapy, and it messes with you, man. I'm here to tell you firsthand. I was a psycho bitch when I had too much testosterone. It took me a while to get it managed out and mellowed out. I feel like I'm much mellow, but I had no control over my anger. I had everything pissed me off. I mean, even the smallest noise, hearing somebody chew behind me, I'd just be like, oh, die, go away. Like, I don't know. So I just know that there's so much to it. We can't just blame it on one broken aspect of our society. And I was an advocate for gun control. My father put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and terrorized us while we were growing up with those guns. And so, of course, I've always been an advocate for getting guns out of houses. But now, no, that's changed dramatically over the last few years. It's funny because they still call me up and try to get me to go testify down at our Congress, or at our representatives, and I just go, nope, sorry. I just don't have that stance anymore. I do not have that belief. I mean, when your government is tyrannical like ours is, you need to be able to protect yourself. And that's what our founding fathers wanted. So sorry to sound like a Republican, but I happen to be a Second Amendment supporter. When I was in a lot of pain, I went to, yeah, right? I mean, when you're pain. Yeah, pain does so much terrible shit. Oh, but did you see Biden's goddamn response to this shit yesterday? It was like he was opening a comedy club act. Did you guys see this? Check this out. Hopefully there's sound. Let me know if there's no sound. It would not be surprising.
Term of the White House.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God. Ben, how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin.
Something's wrong here.
Folks, welcome to the White House. It's a delight to have you all here. And who are those good-looking kids back there? They're your kids, all four of them? Well, stand up, guys.
John, we'll jump back in here. Considering the moment.
Yeah, you better.
We were told that
the shooting that just happened left 3 children dead, 3 adults dead, shooters dead, and we were told he would be addressing this off the top.
She used to be 3 years.
Yeah, it's rather surprising. I thought that a somber President Biden would have come to the podium here. And
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband, and I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God. And who are those good-looking kids back there?
He's gone.
He's gone. He was never there. I hate to break it to you, Chandra. Apparently he forgot that he was supposed to be somber and addressing, this event that had just happened. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We still have at least 2 more years of this crap of pretending that we have a president. Pretending. I mean, what in the hell was that? He opening the Comedy Store? I don't get it. Oh, you think I'm lying? I got ice cream upstairs. Yeah, we know they entice you with ice cream to get you to do fucking anything, but we're not dumb. Oh God, he shows such signs of dementia. I worked in 2 Alzheimer wards for a long time as a CNA, and yeah, every day I catch little oh yeah, that guy is not fully there at all, right? I'm so glad to see so many of you hanging out. A lot of new voices or new names in here. 3-chord grifter, welcome. And Manitalk, so glad to see you hanging out. I am so sorry, Jimmy. I thought I was following you on Twitter. I did one of those purges of who I follow and who I don't follow. And I saw I wasn't followed to you. So I followed you back. I apologize. So you guys make sure you go follow me on the Twitters. Who knows how much longer we're going to be on Twitters because Elon's got plans for us. But, we'll get there. Let's look at the cops beating down some people in France this week. I don't think maybe we ran this. Did we run this on Beauty and the Boomer? I don't know, but let's look at it. And then we'll talk about Israel. And we got a lot to talk about Israel. So bad. Look, she's trying to get him back. Oh yeah, you big tough boy. know how dangerous those are. That is just god awful. And you see their strategy, right? What they do is they look for the troublemakers, the inciters, right? And so then they'll come up, and you see one will always have his hand on another. So they work in pairs, right? And then they got their shields. They come up and they'll reach in to the crowd and they'll grab a person that they think is a problem that's inciting, and they'll rip them into the group of the cops. And of course, they beat the crap out of them. What they always do. I mean, this is a trained tactic. We've seen it many times on many front lines. We know how dangerous those fucking grenades are. Look at No Dapple. I mean, the damage that we saw from the private military forces that were unleashed there. And yes, these are private military, missionary type forces that are coming down on the people. And it's not just going to be France, guys. This is everywhere, everywhere. They are prepared for when the people push back. They have been preparing for a long time. I don't think it really matters what state or what country you're in. They all have their same, the flashbangs. They all have their same protocol for this. And so I like to observe this stuff. I spend a lot of times out on the front lines, then I know what to look for and how the fuck to stay away from it, right? I have learned so much being on the front lines, and unfortunately, we need this knowledge as we get further and further into the decline of Western civilization, right? But let's look at Israel, because Israel, they had, oh my gosh, they had a crowd turnout, right? And this is protesting Benjamin Netanyahu's policy. He wants to overhaul the judicial system, right? And we're seeing his name a lot in the news, and I've got the shit libs coming at me because of the whole Trump situation, and I'll explain that to you in a sec. But here, let's check out the protests over the weekend. All of civilization, right, Manitow? Oh, I gotta hit play. I told you guys I'm having a rough morning.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Oh, it is a lot of people. A lot of people who have fully funded universal health care, that have paid for college, that just see a house, take a house. I mean, we know that. And they still manage to get out in the fucking streets and fight the corruption in their system, even though, come on. Netanyahu has been in control for a long time, and it's taken them this long to really get out there in those type of numbers. But still, I mean, shame, shame, shame on America. We can't find one goddamn reason to massively come out into the streets. Not the fact that you have the highest retirement rate of any civilized country in the world. Or 67. Everybody else is 62, 60, 67. And we know they want to push that to 72, because so many of us are going to live to 72 with all of the chemicals and shit they dump on us, the poisons, right? I mean, we just have so many reasons. Our kids can't get a fucking fully funded. I mean, education is a joke in this country, unless you want, for one, to go get indoctrinated. But for two, you got to pay $100,000 to get indoctrinated. Then you might be able to get a job in the system in the future if AI doesn't replace you. That's America. We just don't care. We are just completely out of it. So I got tagged over on Facebook by, I call them shit libs, the former progressives. They call themselves progressives, and they have TDS so bad still. And Amy Goodman had to drop a report this week over on Democracy Now! About how the candidate and the spy, right? So apparently Benjamin Netanyahu's little clique wanted to ensure that Trump got elected. I thought he was good friends with Hillary and Obama and all of them. So what stake did he have in it to have Trump elected or not elected? But that's beside the point. It's so beside the point. I mean, they think that this is what's going to take Trump out. Like, what are you talking about? The Uniparty loves two things. They love war, endless war, and they love Israel. So what makes you think that calling this out is going to change anything? So let's just watch the few second clip. I mean, I've been going rounds over this stupid post for days, but yeah, let's check it out. And I don't advise watching Democracy Now! I used to. I don't any longer.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As mass protests rock Israel against the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his plan to overhaul Israel's judiciary, we turn now to look at how Netanyahu secretly tried to help Donald Trump win the 2016 election. That's the focus of a new cover story in The Nation headlined "The Candidate and the Spy." Longtime award-winning investigative journalist James Bamford reveals Netanyahu dispatched a secret Israeli agent to the United States in the spring of 2016 to meet with advisors to Trump and offer to share secret intelligence with the campaign against Hillary Clinton. The story is based in part on a series of text messages sent by the Israeli secret agent to Trump advisor Roger Stone. In one message from August 12, 2016, the agent wrote, quote, "Roger, hello from Jerusalem. Any progress? He's going to be defeated unless we intervene. We have critical intel. The key is in your hands," the text read. Later, the agent wrote, quote, "October surprise is coming." James Bamford writes, quote, "While the American media and political system fixated on Russian President Vladimir Putin and his armies of cyber warriors, trolls, and bots, what was completely missed in the Russiagate investigation of 2016 was the Israeli connection. No details of it were ever revealed in the heavily redacted Mueller Report or in the Senate Intelligence Committee report." James Bamford joins us now from Washington, D.C.
Man, it's a day. Yeah, I really don't give a shit what he has to say. Yeah, they're using the Roger Stone card again, right? I mean, hasn't Roger Stone already testified before the grand jury, done his time? I mean, like, that the fact that this is news, we knew about this. We knew about this. Anybody who was paying attention and to what Mueller was doing, we knew when the Roger Stone text messages came out about this. This was in the Roger Stone text messages. So not a shocker on that part. But let's rewind back to spring of 2016. If I do recall right, and I might be not thinking right, and I haven't checked this, I could go research it and remember. Didn't Netanyahu come here and like uninvitedly give a fucking speech to our Congress? Did he? Why do I remember something like that? You know, so to me, it's just like, whatever. Trump, Hillary, either one would have bent the knee to Israel. You see Hillary like fighting Benjamin? No, come on. So I don't know. I just find this another, "Oh, we got you" type of bullshit for Trump. And yeah, well, the shit libs, they want to hear it. Actually, did you see this too? This is the same thing. So they're going after Trump for supporting Benjamin. Benjamin's supporting this overhaul. I don't know why they're calling it a judicial overhaul, but guess who's hand in hand with him? The Democrats. Oh, look, Rep. Katie Porter pushes for Dem delegation to meet with Netanyahu, says she was extremely impressed. So the Zionism is a movement for Jewish liberation and self-determination in a Jewish, not exclusive Jewish state. The crowd at the pro-Israel rally in 2021 said, it's about the Jews, their right, and the Jews' right to live as a free people after millennia of prosecution in our ancestral lands. When ignorant crowds and some supermodel on Instagram hatefully and irresponsibly spreads the lies about Zionism when they chant, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, when they engage in the modern day modern day lib of blaming Israel as a genocidal state. It is. And they shouldn't be surprised when they are demonization results in Jews being attacked on the streets of this beloved country. So that's what Katie has to say about it. She doesn't have anything to say about the state of Palestine at all. Absolutely not. But so Trump bad. Trump was going to collude with Benjamin Netanyahu, but we love Benjamin Netanyahu and we support what he does. So what the fuck is the point of this? I tell you guys, my brain's not firing right today, so I'm not gathering it. But this little gem, I did a ton of research trying to figure out if this was old or if this is new. Maybe you guys know, but let's just reminisce if it was old or if they're saying it now. Either way, shit lib central.
In 2016, the Russian government attacked our democracy.
They interfered in the presidential election in sweeping and systematic fashion.
They hacked emails, spread lies on social media,
and made hundreds of contacts with the Trump campaign.
All as a part of a massive covert operation
to help Donald Trump become president.
In May 2017, the Department of Justice appointed former FBI Director Robert Mueller as a special counsel
to investigate connections between Russia and the Trump campaign.
Mueller delivered his report on March 22nd, and it contains the most damning evidence ever compiled against a sitting U.S. president.
Yet, virtually no one has read it.
And before the report was even released, Trump's Attorney General William Barr lied about its contents.
He told the American people that the president had done nothing wrong.
And Trump was more than happy to echo that propaganda.
Total exoneration, complete vindication,
no
collusion, and no obstruction, and no nothing.
That is an outright lie. Mueller found plenty of evidence of collusion.
The Trump campaign knew about Russia's illegal attack on our election. They welcomed it and encouraged their help.
That's collusion.
And recently, Donald Trump, seated in the Oval Office, acknowledged that collusion.
In fact, he admitted that in a future election,
he
would break the law and do it all over again.
I think you might want to listen. There's nothing wrong with listening. I think I'd want to hear it.
You want that kind of interference in our elections?
It's not an interference. They have information. I think I'd take it.
But we knew that. Here are some other specific examples from the Mueller report.
1. In the spring of 2016, a Russian operative told a Trump advisor.
Okay, we're not listening to all 5 minutes of that. And I remember that is older now that I've watched the whole thing. And, it's funny because they had to pay for the Steele dossier so they could come up with some P conspiracy on Trump, right? But how dare him even want to look at information that somebody might have about his opponent, right? I mean, God, the dirty play with the Dems is never going to change. What did YouTube do now? Oh no, they shut me off. Probably. I don't even care. So yeah, shit libby's being shit libby. Jilly, they need to shut the fuck up. I agree. I absolutely agree. But you know what? If we don't have them, we have Hollywood, right? I mean, that was a bunch of Hollywood dumbasses. They go hand in hand. And I guess Sean Penn just wasn't effective enough because, God damn it, they had to get Orlando Bloom on the scene to go kiss Zelensky's ass. Did you guys see this?
Welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. What an honor. What a real honor, sir. Nice to meet you. Such a wonderful.
Thank you so much, man. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's so gross. Why? What is Orlando Bloom? Is he the delegate from, Australia, New Zealand? I don't even think he lives there. He lives in London. I just don't understand why they keep rolling these out. Sean Penn, I get, because Sean Penn is probably a CIA. I mean, we know he's CAA, but my guess is Sean Penn always has wanted to be a badass CIA agent. And this movie I was watching the other day, this documentary, God, it really broke down just how involved Hollywood and the CIA are. They are fucking hand in hand, right? Big mahalo. Thank you, Jimmy. Yes. And I want to shout out Aram. Thank you so much, Aram, for my health for the Super Ray over on the Roar Media. Thank you. Yeah, this just mind blows me. I just what is he hoping to accomplish? Maybe him and Katie can go to lunch or dinner with him and his wife. But you know what? The people love it. They love when they see the stars that they love hanging out with their confirmation bias side of the political spectrum, right? So I'm so over shit libs, man. So over it. So Fee Turncoat Don did one of those really great MSNBC spoofs, and Fee, she had a great show yesterday. If you didn't check it out, go over to the Combo Couch. You want to know the truth about what's happening, in the Ukraine, in Russia, go listen to Fee. She's there. She's boots on the ground. And this was just too cute. This is funny.
Simultaneously, the conflict in Ukraine. Simultaneously, you can't forget about Yemen. You can't forget about Syria and how the U.S. is stealing their oil. And now you have China, right? This global emerging economic power. I wouldn't say it's even emerging. I'd say it's there. And then you have the de-dollarization going on, as well as inflation and just political, whether sabotage or just decline in the West, not just Europe, but also now, as you guys can see, the United States. So all of this coming together is a huge blow to the United States. It's a huge blow to NATO. It's a huge blow to the collective West and their power that they have. You can see it right now in real time dwindling. The empire is falling is essentially what you're seeing. And a new leader has emerged, and that leader is China. Because again, like I've been saying, behind Russia, behind all of this, aggression towards Russia is really China, because China is the powerful economy here, more than Russia. And China, again, is a nuclear power that has once again reiterated its allyship to Russia and Iran. And of course, now you throw in Africa, you throw in Latin America, and you see this emerging multipolar world that we're seeing. And all that means is literally countries want to be able to be in good economic standing with each other, have relationships that are equitable, built on mutual respect, respecting each other's national sovereignty. Meaning, if China conducts its affairs with the Communist Party of China, then what does Iran do? What does Russia do? They say, okay, we're not communists. You do you, boo. That's literally it. Whereas like the United States is like, nah, you can't do that. And so it's literally in the most basic, simplistic terms. That's literally what it is.
Yeah. I love that. Of course, Fee says, I love you guys, but MSDNC would never let me utter 2 words. Yes, it's true. Those are so brilliant. I know people fall for it and think, oh my gosh, how did Fee get on there? I've seen people, but keep it up. Keep up the great work and the great editing, because that's what it takes to get our message across, right? A satire. If we have to go there, then that's what we got to go there. And insane in the Ukraine, Yona. I agree. Insane in the Ukraine. Oh God, did you guys see that video this morning of the Ukrainian soldiers stopping a woman with a kid? I didn't bring it. That just rips my soul out, the way they shooting the gun and scaring her. And I just feel so bad. So bad. I love Fee. She does amazing work. Longtime supporter. Yes, Jax. Fee is the real fucking deal. And I will have Fee's back till the end of time, because you know what? She's fam. That is my fam. I definitely will have her back. Yeah, she had a great show yesterday. And she breaks it down. I mean, they want us to believe that we're kicking ass over there. Ukraine's taking all this money and weaponry we're giving them. They're just beating the fuck out of Russia. If we have learned nothing over history, the history of Russia is you just don't go kick Russia's ass. That's not how it's ever worked. Ask Napoleon, ask fucking, I mean, you can just list all the history of Russia, ask Hitler. Like, no, you don't just kick Russia's ass. And now that spring's here, the way that the permafrost there and how hard the ground is, it turns to mud as soon as spring hits, right? So it makes it impossible for them to move heavy equipment. It sinks, it gets stuck, and that becomes a serious problem for anybody trying to fight. And Russia knows how to deal with it. And as we come into the spring months now, we're going to see troops on the move. We're going to see, I think, Putin hit back. I think he's going to flank their asses, and he's going to take even more of the Ukraine. That's just my personal prediction. I could be wrong, but damn it, I'm not wrong very often. Oh, do you guys see this bullshit? God, this is so bad. Kamala Harris Africa trip. Can U.S. charm offensive woo content for China? Yeah. She doesn't even know what the fuck she's doing. She says word salad constantly. I mean, this is yet another example of them pretending like they do with Biden, right? And we know that this all comes down to the leverage over their finite resources. We saw the video with the cobalt this weekend, and people, I mean, there's poor people being killed trying to, rip these fucking finite resources out of the ground for the American empire. And do we care? But we pretend like we care, right? Yeah, it was so gross. So gross. Oh my God. What do you guys think they're going to do in 2 years? I mean, obviously they can't run Biden. Do you think they're going to try to run Biden for another 4 more? I don't even think he could withstand a presidential run, right? He got to hide in his basement last time. He didn't have to do shit. Remember when we were showing you his campaign rallies where he would have 20 people, 30 people? I just don't know how they're going to do it. Nobody liked Harris. Harris has never won a vote where she had to actually go out there and get the vote. Never. You can go look at her history. Do you think that they're going to pull some crap and maybe dust somebody off and put them out there? I don't know. You guys tell me. Who do you think that they're going to replace Biden with in this run? There's a lot of people. Okay, so I want to talk about this. On Saturday, I brought a clip to Beauty and the Boomer, and it was Code Pink, and they were protesting. It wasn't Medea. It was a group of them, and they were protesting. I can't remember where they were, but they were calling out the warmongers, right? But it looked very like they had said, okay, you guys are allowed to come up on stage. You got 2 minutes to say what you want, because all of the speakers that were on the stage just kind of sat there like it was pre-planned. Nobody pushed back. Nobody said, shut up. There was one sergeant at arms that was on the stage that with one swoop of both her hands managed to get 4 people off the stage and out of the room. We need this. We need these guys yelling. I love that Medea does it. I heard that they got arrested yesterday. I love Medea. I've met Medea many times out on the front lines, and she's a true fucking deal. I do believe that. But I don't like to see these staged, guys. We can't. There's too much stage shit that we get that everybody calls out anyway. So you can't stage these. So I don't think this one was staged. This is her letting Anthony Blanken know what she thinks.
You're supposed to be a diplomat, start negotiating.
Secretary.
Peace talks with Ukraine now. The American people don't want to keep fueling a proxy war with Russia that could lead us to World War III or a nuclear holocaust. You're supposed to be a diplomat, start negotiating.
Oh, that
if you don't
big
like
man
the
has to
Chinese
manhandle her.
proposal, where is your peace proposal? The American people want you to negotiate. Be a diplomat. Do your job now.
We have.
China is not our enemy. Don't break my arm.
Not going to break it.
China is not our enemy.
You will come back to
Cut the $3.8 billion to Itamar Ben-Gvir's army. Send Benjamin Netanyahu to the International Criminal Court. And you yourself, Palestinian civil society, why won't you listen? Why won't you listen to them? Who will protect them? Cuba's not a state culture of terrorism. Listen to our allies in Latin America, from Brazil, from Mexico, from Colombia. They're asking for you to take Cuba off the state sponsor of terrorism.
And U.S. sanctions against Venezuela and Cuba. You're starving the people of Venezuela and Cuba. Shame on you. Engage in diplomacy, not in warfare. Engage in diplomacy, not in economic warfare.
So yes, I absolutely agree that we need that. We need to be in these guys' faces in these meetings. I love that if one gets knocked out the door, the next one pops out with whatever they've got hid, and they call them out. I mean, we need to be doing this every time they open their mouths, every time they sit down, every time we can get into a room with them. And I was not saying that I did not support this the other night. I absolutely support it, but I don't like it when it looks staged. Like the whole Greta Thunberg getting arrested, AOC, look, my arms are behind my back, because then it calls into question the validity of the protest that you're doing. So we just got to be careful. Why are they so polite? Right? Why are they so polite? I mean, I guess we start out asking nicely, and then in the end, it's not going to be nice anymore. So I would never tear down anybody who's out there getting in their faces. So I just wanted to reiterate that in case it was miscued on Saturday. That's not what I was saying. I was just saying, don't make it look staged, guys. We're the first ones that call it out when it looks staged, right? When AOC is out there pretending like she's getting handcuffed and knocked to the ground, whatever. Greta, just... yeah, I think we'll see more of it. We have to see more of it. I just don't see how we're going to continue down this road without people starting to really get in these guys' faces, right? Especially depending on who comes into power next. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rob Juno. Love, thanks, and the deepest strength to all of you. Yes, it is a freaking terrible, tough time, right? And to be in... to know what's going on in the world like we do, right? Because I know you guys know. I hate bringing clips that I know you guys have seen 20 fucking times in the last week. Like I brought the Hillary Clintons running, but I know that Jimmy played it yesterday. Damn it, Jimmy, you scooped me. That was on my deck but I scoop him on Fridays. So it's all good because I go before him on Fridays. And yeah, we all want to talk about a lot of times the same clips. So I hate doing that to you guys, but you guys know, man, you guys know probably before I do a lot of times. So thank you so much, Rob. How's the YouTube hanging out or the Rockfin? Why so polite? Yep. Okay. Did you guys see this one? So breaking, Stephen Donziger, in a huge blow to the rule of law, the U.S. Supreme Court today let stand Chevron's prosecution and 3-year detention of me after helping Indigenous people win the historic Amazon pollution case. Yep. Our Constitution does not tolerate what happened here. Yeah. This one right here should piss everybody off. This is exactly an example of our judicial system being captured by the corporate overlords, right? I mean, Chevron was pissed that how dare him win a case against them. And so, yeah, I mean, we know they locked him up. They've had him in detention. He had ankle bracelets. I mean, this is just insane. It's insanity. And this other one was terrible too. What was this one? So President Biden, mega House Republicans proposal would slash funding for border security, a move that could allow nearly 900 pounds of fentanyl into the country. We need more resources to secure the border, not less. You guys know I talk about that on To Hell and Back constantly. But if you think that Biden's any better, that's a great example of him not being any better, right? So, I mean, if you want to go deep dive into the 9,000 pounds of heroin or fentanyl, head over to Hell and Back when we do our shows over there, because we really break down what's going on, not just globally, locally, we actually go and look at the sources. And as I showed you a couple weeks ago, fentanyl can literally be made anywhere. Oh, the Jon Stewart. I didn't bring the Jon Stewart shit just because that shit pisses me off. I figured you guys got a good breakdown from Jimmy last night on it. Jimmy had a pretty good show yesterday. Jon Stewart says we will either have the rule of law or we don't. That's why Trump needs to go to jail over Stormy Daniels, but not Hillary Clinton over the Steele dossier, because it's the same goddamn thing. She paid for it, filed it in the legal fees category. The hypocrisy is so insane with the TDS. Like the hypocrisy, like the Democrats don't do the same shit that they're screaming about Trump doing. They do. They absolutely do. And that's why it's Jon Stewart screaming about it and not an elected official, because the elected official knows that, hey, if I call them out for it, then they could call me out for it. And that's why they don't, right? I mean, we talk about it all the time. So Jon Stewart got a farm, he got a family, and in order to keep his happy little life in his happy little bubble, he's got to go out there, I don't know, once every 3 or 4 months and push a narrative. And I think everything that absolutely comes out of that man's mouth is a narrative. I don't think him going on Colbert and talking about a penguin making out with a bat was just spur of the moment. That shit was planned, and it is a narrative, right? We have to have the lab leak theory out there, or we can't blame China. And as we come into this war, we're in the proxy war with Russia. We're pivoting to face China, right? We want Taiwan, and we're not going to stop till we get it. And so, yeah, this just helps get the American people softened up. It's a marinate. They're marinating us, like, oh, China, be mad at China. They made you sick. They made your loved ones die. Not us. They did. So, and this Hillary's running. Guys, I saw this text go by on my phone. Hillary's running again. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I believe that, but I don't believe that it's going to be announced like this. I don't think that she's going to go quietly into the night. And I have said this since 2016. When you read her books, and I have read My Way, and I haven't read her fucked up one after when she lost. I just refused. I'm not. But when you read her books, she has a mental driven illness to be the first woman president. And since we still haven't had the first woman president, guess what? It's still open for her. It's still obtainable for her. And do you think by any means that she is going to let Kamala Harris be the first elected female president? It's never going to happen. I think Hillary would take her out her damn self. So I think that she hasn't gone away. I think she's dipping her toes back in the water. But don't forget, they live in their damn echo chambers where they're told that everything they've done is marvelous and that they are the best in the world. And, oh, yeah, you had those haters out there, but never mind those haters, because everybody in the Hamptons loves you. Everybody in here loves you. So she doesn't get that reality of how terrible she is and how much we hate her. She doesn't live in that reality. That's just Fox News propaganda. So she thinks she's great. And now she's going to go teach this class, right? And that's going to give her a softer image again. It's going to let the kids at Columbia love her. And yeah, I don't count her out. So I got 2 clips because of course I had to bring them out, Orfala, but let's check out her video, or this is her commercial for her new class.
Oh my God.
What is it?
It's Hillary Clinton. She's running.
What? What? Hillary's running again?
I know, I heard that's so crazy. This is wild. She's running again.
Here I am.
Hillary, you're running again.
Well, I sure am, Karen. I just got here early for the new class we're teaching together on foreign policy decision making.
Classes don't start until September.
Yeah, but I wanted to be prepared, Karen. You know, when it comes to crisis situations, you've always got to be prepared.
Prepared? I think you're more prepared than anyone to teach this course. Now, what are we going to call it?
Inside the Situation Room.
Yes. And I'll cover the theory of political decision-making and strategy.
Mm-hmm. And I'll cover what it was actually like in the room during the bin Laden raid, the Iran sanctions, the Gaza ceasefire.
When I ordered those people killed.
Okay, but are you ready for whatever questions the students throw at you?
Bring it on. Now, if you'll excuse me, Karen, I've got to run.
You heard the secretary. If you get inside the Situation Room, come prepared.
That bitch can't walk, let alone run. Yeah, because that's her. Her shoe didn't fall off. I want Shanda to detect that cord. Thanks, Oz. I'm glad to see you. I was a little worried about you. Oh my gosh. She's not going away, guys. She's not. And yeah, I mean, will they roll her out as a running mate too? I don't know, but I just tell you deep down in my soul, I know she's not gone, right? We've always called her a bad case of herpes, but she's the worst case of herpes this country has ever gotten. And so let's check out what Matt did, because Matt, he made this so much better. He improved it. So here we go. Matt Orfala, guys, if you're not following, I know you are though.
Oh my God.
What is it?
The first woman to blow up Iraq, Syria, and Libya, where there's now a modern slave trade.
It's Hillary Clinton.
The Hillary Clinton Show.
Here I am.
Well, that's a
I
good
just got
filter.
here early for the new class we're teaching together on foreign policy decision making.
Classes don't start until September.
Yeah, but I wanted to be prepared, Karen. You know, when it comes to crisis situations, you've always got to be prepared.
I think you're more prepared than anyone to teach this course. But are you ready for whatever questions the students throw at you?
Explain it to us. You know what? Nobody's ever asked me before. You're the first person to ask me, and I'm happy to address it, but you are the first person to ask me here.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Karen, I've got to run. Bring it on.
I love it. I love it. Matt does such great work, and we're hoping to be able to get up to that level very soon over here at Beauty and the Boomer and Roar. We're working on it. We're getting there. Yeah, frankly, what does it matter now? You know, yeah, how to be a war criminal. That's what she should be teaching. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, this woman, she has been a pain in my ass for so long. And here's the thing, guys. 2014, I was ready for her to run. I had my bumper sticker that said, I'm ready for her. And then Bernie came along, and then I did some research, and then I woke up. Well, you can't even say woke anymore, right? Then I did some research and realized what was really going on. And then when I was inside the Bernie campaign as a Bernie delegate, we saw firsthand what the Hillary for America campaign was doing to us. I mean, the insanity never stopped, and it's not going to stop. It's not. She's not going away. But can I tell you guys, I wasn't afforded a fancy education. I would have loved one. I wanted one. I was the type of person that would have worked hard to get one. But, I was always told, you're poor. You're just going to have kids. You're working a minimum wage job. So I believed that, and I did that. So I was always so fucking jealous of people who got to go off and do the big college experience. For most of my adult life, like I was always jealous, and I went to college later, but I never, I never got to live that young college life, right? I was always so jealous about, but now I look at it and I go, oh my God, that's probably the reason I can think straight is because I didn't get a fucking indoctrination, and that's what Columbia is, man. Columbia is indoctrination of, reparrot the narrative and say what you're told, and you'll be good. You can have a job, right? Because that's what journalism school is all about now, for sure. So speaking of the IRS agents turning into, the lapdogs for the administration, did you see this? I think this happened probably not too long ago. So Matt Taibbi had agents show up at his doorstep claiming pretextual issues. Yeah. So we told you that they were going to weaponize the IRS. They absolutely have weaponized the IRS, and how they hired, was it 85,000 agents? They bought $7 million worth of ammo. Yeah. Bullets. They literally ran out of bullets because the IRS got them all. Yeah, these were reports that we were reporting last year, and we kept telling you guys, yeah, they're gonna weaponize, they're gonna freaking make the IRS come after the poor, and Biden, we would never. That's for going after the rich. Yeah, we know better. And so that's just a prime example of it. Matt testifies, and next day they're on his goddamn door, right? What can they really say? This just blows my mind. I mean, keep your shit in order, guys. And this is part of the Orwellian control as we go into the future, and they're going to control your money. They can turn your money on, they can turn your money off. And that's exactly what they're planning to do with these CBDCs. We know that. So you're going to get put in one category. You're going to either go into the cash category with the poor people, and there's going to be very limited places that you can spend that cash, or you're going to go into the CBDCs and be controlled by the whole system, or you're going to have crypto. I think is really the three categories is where it's going to be in a couple of years. Pick your category now, because that's where you're ending up, guys. Oh, John Kerry. John Kerry's got to tell you that, no, I don't fly private. But yes, he actually does fly private.
You recently switched, I read, from flying private to flying commercial.
No, I didn't fly private while I was in this job.
Okay.
It's just a misnomer. I've had one, maybe two private flights, which were U.S. military flights in order to get to China during COVID, where we were forced into that. But I fly commercially.
The reason I bring that up is private aviation is an example of something where people are starting to pay more attention, and but when people who go to Davos to talk about climate change fly private, it seems like they don't want to make.
Well, they actually, I've talked to them about it. They offset.
You got to get your offsets.
They buy offsets, they offset, and they are working harder than most people I know to be able to try to affect this transition.
Right. People who go to Davos to talk about climate change
I don't even
fly
want to hear that again. This guy, I can't believe I used to adore John Kerry, right? Oh my God, his years in the 70s, the church committee. Oh my gosh, calling these guys out. He's a champion for the people. Not even, right? I mean, he's just like the rest of them. Sharon Williams, excellent comment. We share the same political track. Witnessing the 2000 campaign season woke me up. And it's been 2 decades of seeing people from Bush to HRC. And then all of them are tools of the totalitarian all along, inch by inch. The system has co-opted everything that works for democracy. Absolutely. And I think anybody who goes into the system with a good, pure heart that wants to help people, like I did, I wanted to fight for the single moms that are working at a minimum wage convenience store job who, maybe was an alcoholic or picked up an addiction from their doctor. That's who I was there to represent, because those are the voices I never see in politics represented, right? They might throw you some crumbs and talk about you, but those are never the people that are represented. So I went in with a pure heart, and I learned. And for the longest time, I had the side blinder on, right? Oh, I can't see my own side is the problem. And then when I could see it, I denied it because of people like Bernie, like, well, yeah, we can push them left, or, we can change it. We'll go in and we'll fix it from the inside. That's not what happened at all. I was active in the 2000 campaign, but I was a dumb shitlib back then. And I was dead set against Bush. I was a complete Gore supporter. Oh my God, Gore was ripped off. And I still think that Gore was ripped off, but we now know that we don't choose these things, right? Smoke-filled back rooms with cigars choose these things. And then, protesting the Patriot Act and protesting the Iraq War, these are all things I did, but those were evil Republicans that were doing those things to us, not the Democrats. The Democrats were fighting for the working everyday people, which we now know is absolute malarkey. And they just crush unions, and they hurt the poor people. They don't care. But these carbon offset taxes, guys, they're coming for all of us. Go buy a plane ticket right now. You should get a receipt that tells you what your carbon print was, like 3.5 tons for a flight, depending on how long your flight is. So pretty soon you're going to have a limit of carbon footprint that you're not allowed to exceed unless you pay. And that's what these offsets are, right? Like, well, okay, we got to offset from here and we can do, we're just offsetting it. Yeah, we put it out there into the atmosphere, but this invisible offset in our head is going to level it out and it's going to be great. It's all coming for us. This is a part of the, living in your own district, your 3-minute or your 15-minute cities. Geofencing is already being built around you. And that's something people just can't even fathom or comprehend, that you've already caged yourself in. It's like when you go to catch a stray dog, right? You catch a couple of stray dogs, you put some food out and you put a metal fencing with the door open and the dog comes in and then you shut the metal fencing and the dog's trapped, right? They're going to do the same damn thing to us. Here's some food. You want food? Well, you're going to have to come in. Oh, sorry. You're not allowed to travel any further out of here because you don't have any carbon offsets. The future is not bright for any of us. Okay. So I talked to Farrah, guys. I know you guys wanted me to cover this stupid story. So Gwyneth Paltrow is on trial, right? It's a civil lawsuit. Apparently a dude ran into her, or her story is he ran into her, but apparently he got brain damage and now he can't taste wine anymore. So his quality of life is just diminished. And she lost a half a day of skiing. So, this trial's been going on for like a week and a half now. It's some of the stupidest, elitist, entitled bullshit I have ever heard. I have been leaving it running in the background while I do my other work just so I can laugh at the stupidity of it. But here's the thing. She's being a spoiled fucking elite in this trial, holding up notebooks so you can't see her face in court during open court. Could you imagine if Amber Heard did that shit? I mean, she did some bad stuff. So I brought you guys just a little clip. This is Popcorn Planet because they do an amazing job. But Emily D. Baker's out there covering this and so many of the law tubers that we love. And Farron and I said, yeah, let's do a recap. I'm so busy this week. I have so many guests that hopefully by the end of, maybe the beginning of next week, we can do a full recap on this trial because it's still ongoing. But Ben Chu, which was Johnny Depp's attorney, who we talked in depth about a lot back, a year ago? God, I can't believe it's been a year since that trial. He gave his impression on her being a little bit of a prima donna during this trial. So let's check it out.
Ben Chu, Johnny Depp's lawyer, has issued some stern advice for Gwyneth amongst this trial. Now, this is his statement to Court TV. And yeah, he wasn't a fan of some of her
Vinny,
activities.
as my father would say, I am in violent agreement with you. What has been depicted outside that courthouse is nothing compared to what you've seen in other cases, certainly nothing compared to the Depp case.
That's true.
She needs to lose that blue notebook. I think it comes across as imperious. As you said so well, the courthouse is a public square. This isn't a family vacation away from the crowds when you have a legitimate expectation of privacy. This is a courthouse, and she's not merely a defendant. She also has her own counterclaim, albeit a symbolic one. So she has to be and act like any other litigant in the courtroom, and I think she and her lawyer do her no service when she's playing the part of a prima donna and looking like a sad sack when she's sitting there at the stand. The other thing I noticed from your coverage of yesterday.
But I'm going to get there as offering commentary over the Court TV interview because this is telling. And Ben Chu News, he interviews, he does these interviews in a lot of these cases, but obviously he represented Johnny. That was a really high profile case.
Okay, I think you guys got the gist of it. She is being a spoiled elite. She's keeping that damn notebook in her face. She doesn't want anybody looking at her. Honestly, from the testimony that I've heard, and I've heard her testimony last week, and then of course his name's Terry, was on the witness stand yesterday, and was it yesterday and the day before? Anyways, I think this is a money grab, attention grab, but I think what we're seeing here is he's older, right? And he's saying that he has brain damage, and I think that there's a little bit of onset of early dementia with this guy. And I mean, they have torn his medical records apart. You can't really make heads or tails of it because the guy just flat lies and forgets. And I mean, it's been the stupidest shit to watch. But when you get older, and I've seen this because I've taken care of a lot of elderly people. That's what I do. That's what I've done my whole life. You get fixated on shit. And I don't know why our brains do this as we get older. My mother used to do it. My grandmother used to do it. Like once you get something, it's like it festers in your brain and you just can't let it go. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on with this guy is like, oh, that woman, she ran into me and she hurt me. And then it's just progressed to where we're at 6 years later, 7 years later. Cause this was like 2016, I want to say, is when this event happened. Basically, she's skiing down the slope, looks down and sees a pair of skis come between her skis. Okay, that would freak the shit out of you. And as soon as she sees the tips of these skis between her legs, she fills a body up against her and she hears a guy like groaning in her fucking ear. Okay, right there, that would creep me the hell out. And then right at that exact moment, she said their skis must have crossed and they both fell over. And so basically he fell over and she fell over on top of him is kind of the way they're explaining it. This is just the stupidest white people shit I've seen in a long fucking time. And so, I mean, I think it's a cash grab. I think he just got fixated and now, you know, he's there. So if you guys want to watch that, I know a lot of you guys are really into it. You guys have been reaching out to me like, come on, do a recap. So we're caught up to speed with what I know on it. Royal Tannenbaums, indeed. Yeah, I used to love all the Wes Anderson stuff. Not so much anymore. But I used to love Quentin Tarantino too. So, you know, you live, you learn, you realize they're all CAA, CIA. Now let's talk about poisoning of our air and our water. So, do you see this? Philadelphia tells residents to consider bottled water after chemical spill. More than 8,000 gallons of an acrylic Palmer solution leaked on Friday into a tributary of the Delaware River, a source of the city's drinking water. Okay, what? People are drinking Delaware River water. Have you seen the Delaware River? Like, for one, I wouldn't be drinking that water, but for two, oh my God, why are they poisoning everywhere? I mean, like, we don't have enough problems with clean fucking water in this country, and we're not going to have even more in the future. But why is it every day I turn on the freaking internet to see another place has been poisoned with water, with, you know, whatever? I don't know. Says I added an intro for Saturday. Slide 36. Lyndon, I made it. Is it on the show? Did you put it on my deck? Do I need to update my deck, Oz? Is that what you're telling me? Here, we'll do an update right now. Okay. If it's on my slide deck, it's updated, so it should be there. Yeah, so I brought a couple of Dabus. Let's see. This happened yesterday, another train derailment. Did you guys see this?
This is Dabu 7.
North Dakota.
A heads up here as we've got yet another train derailment, this time a 70-car train derailing 31 of the 70 cars, with some leaking petroleum, hazardous materials out of the train. Crews saying that they think that the cold weather will solidify some of these materials, making them into a gel-type substance. Others are arguing that you cannot wait around on that because the liquid form will be leaching into the earth. This is happening in an area near Windmere in North Dakota. They say nearby roadways 158 and 159 Avenue Southeast will be closed. Highway 13 and 14, the Richland County Sheriff's Office also said will be closed. The cleanup is expected to last between 7 and 10 days. So this is quite a big mess. It's ongoing, as you can see, 7 to 10 days. They're hoping, again, that the cold weather would gel up some of this material, the rest of it just leaching into the earth or any local waterways.
So there you go, another train derailment. I love how they think, well, it'll just turn into a gel and then we can just scoop it up. We don't have to worry about it seeping into the ground or the groundwater, right? This is stupid as shit. But I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when every day and you turn on your freaking Twitter machine and there's another fucking chemical spill, I mean, over and over and over, you have to question what the fuck is really going on here, right? I mean, other than the chemical cartels have been allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, and our three-letter agencies work for the corporations that they're supposed to be policing, and we've known that forever. Yona, yes, so I loved your comment, Yona. Let me see if I can go back and find it. If you guys haven't gone and watched Yona's work on the fucking pollution and poison that they're putting in the water there, Yona, you're doing a great job. It takes all of us, right? Getting the message out there. They're making the most out of Beulah acetate around the entire state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is beautiful too. It is. I mean, we have so many beautiful states that are just being poisoned, right? But I love how they said on that last one, like, oh, it'll just be a week cleanup. Didn't they tell us that about East Palestine? I think they did. And if I remember last night, they just had another meeting. They're so sick. They're oh my God, the reports that we are seeing come out of there. Now, I'm not a big status quo fan. I mean, I've supported Jordan over the years, but then he went full shit lib. But they are doing some reporting down there that I have been keeping an eye on, just because we got to keep going back. We got to keep talking to people. We've got to let people know how sick, it's just like 3 Mile Island from, what, the anniversary of that. We didn't know. We still don't even know how bad of poisoning that the people got back then, right? So, I mean, it'll be 30, 40 years before we fully understand what they did to the people of East Palestine. And will they just show up there in a couple of months and be like, sorry, guys, you just got to go? Because we've seen that happen in the US before, like, oh, our bad, we poisoned the whole town, time to move. Here's $1,000 to relocate. Bye-bye. That's basically what they do. Our government. So, this was a shocker, guys. Guess what? NPR is reporting life expectancy continues to decline in the US as it rebounds in other countries. What? You mean a country that won't give its own people universal health care during a goddamn pandemic has lower life expectancy? You mean a country that has to work till they're 67 years old before they can retire has a lower life expectancy? No way. And I hate to break it to you, but it has dropped off too. So in 2021, it was 78 was the life expectancy. And now it's down, or no, it was just above 78. So almost 80, 79. Now it's at 78.1. So you now remember, they want to raise the retirement age to 72. So how many years of retirement does that actually give you? They're going to get that number so low, it'll be lower than the age of retirement. And they won't have to worry about it, right? I love these memes. What you thought the rebellion would look like, what it actually looks like. Yes, it is spring, and I have got spring fever. I've been out there. I got a bunch of babies planted, but it's been cold. We were like 29 the other day, 30. So most of my stuff's still in the house and the windowsills. I'm trying to get them big and strong before I move them out to the little temporary greenhouse. I got one of those flimsy plastic things. And I'm very, very far northwest, like I can see Canada. So it's still very cold here, but get out there, guys, grow your own food, hit those farmer markets, get the hell away from grocery stores, supermarkets. We have got to secure our food from another source than the goddamn grocery stores. Believe me, I'm not preaching at you because I don't know how to do it myself. I've lived out of a grocery store my whole entire life too. I live in the country, so I have a little bit of advantage. I can secure chicken, eggs across the street. We have farmer markets. We have a couple of really big farms out here. Nash's farm is amazing. You can get boxes. Like, I think you can sign up for a program where you get like a box a week and they just fill it with whatever they're harvesting. And that's a really good idea. So spring's coming, guys. It's time to figure this out. We got to get off of their systems, and we know it. We got to do it fast. I'm not preaching. I'm just trying. What do you guys think of this? I saw this poll from kin.com. If Russia would offer a site where you could get all movies and TV shows in high def and unlimited downloads for any software you want, totally encrypted and anonymously, would you pay $5 a month for that? Oh, fuck yeah, I would. Are you kidding? I'm so over all the subscriptions I have now. I pay for Prime, and I pay for Netflix, and I pay for Hulu, and I pay for, and there's never anything good to watch on fucking any of it, right? Other than the pre-programming that they want in your head, like Don't Look Up, or, this is how they roll it out on us now, right? This is their soft disclosure. Yeah. Russia kicked out Netflix. Yes, Russia did kick out Netflix because they were like, this is a fucking propaganda channel. Get the fuck out of here. I seriously, I mean, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take a break from all of it. I'm not going to be online. I'm just going to go veg out and eat some junk food TV, right? Like just something to stare at that my brain doesn't have to process. And I will spend 2 hours digging through these damn sites and still not find anything that's worth a crap to watch. And I'll just end up saying, screw it, and turning it off and going and watch some history document. That's where we're at. And I guess maybe that's just my own fault because the more I watch stuff, the more I see stuff. So I can't really. Okay, so this one I didn't bring. This is the conservative twins. I love the conservative twins. Do you guys know who the conservative twins are? I think they're called the Hodge brothers. Yeah. These guys crack me up. You know, you guys know I'm not a conservative, and most of the stuff they say I don't agree with. But I brought this clip because they're the only ones that were talking about this Soros speech that happened this previous weekend, where Soros did kind of a soft endorsement of DeSantis. What? So here, check it out.
My hope for 2024 is that Trump and Governor DeSantis of Florida will slug it out for the Republican nomination. Trump has turned into a pitiful figure, continually bemoaning his loss in 2020. Big Republican donors are abandoning him in droves. DeSantis is shrewd, ruthless, and ambitious. He is likely to be a Republican candidate. This could induce Trump, whose narcissism has turned into a disease, to run as a third-party candidate. That would lead to a Democratic landslide and force the Republican Party to reform itself. But perhaps I may be just a little bit biased.
Yeah, he's a little bit biased. That was none other than the Uncle George Soros, right? Yeah, he's made it very clear that he is pulling for DeSantis because then there can be a real tear down of the Republican Party and a rebuild, kind of like what the Democrats did, right? Yeah, they did a full tear down and a rebuild. And look at the progressive image they came back in. This guy, I just found it funny. I mean, yeah, go ahead, put your cards out there. We already know, but I want to know how many heart replacements has that man had? I mean, how much adrenochrome did he need to get up on stage? I just find it funny. I got to admit, the conservative twins are a guilty pleasure of mine. They really are. They make me laugh. Their whole, oh yeah, they crack me up. So, you know, you don't have to be left, right. You just got to pay attention to what everybody's saying. California, everybody's leaving California in droves. A California startup is offering coon-like pods to allow 14 residents to share a single house as an escape from soaring rents and retail estate prices, real estate prices. Are you going to get your coon pod? Get your coon pod. You need a coon pod. Yeah, this is what it's coming down to, right? They want us living smaller. That gets rid of your carbon footprint. Pretty soon we're going to see corporations with these type of setups, right? They'll be like, oh, you come work for Google and you'll get a pod and, you know, you'll get a free pass to ride in the self-driving car. And, you know, that is the future. Soros Open Society creates chaos and coups worldwide. Jilly, I've seen it first fucking hand. When we were on the ground in Philadelphia in 2016 for the DNC convention, we had busloads. I mean, brand new fucking motorhomes of these. Oh, how do I describe them? I would say hippie youth that came in. They had to be college kids, and they were funded like I have never seen any group on the ground be funded. They literally brought in, and I'm not even kidding, probably 30,000, 40,000 long stem roses. Now this this helped Hillary, right? Because there was all the angry Bernie supporters that were on the ground in Philadelphia. And now you have these kumbaya Hillary supporters that are out there passing out a rose. Here, take a rose for peace, right? It was just, I mean, it was the craziest shit. And when you get in the campground, you're like, where the hell did these kids get all this money at? You know? Well, we now know. We do now know. So yes, Soros, he funds all kinds of shit. Everybody likes to blame Soros for that, Soros for this, Soros for that. And it gets a little too over the top at sometimes, but hell, if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. So conspiracy theorists, government agenda, yeah, I think that we're about right, right? Propaganda. It's all freaking propaganda. Sabby, I got a Sabby says clip real quick, or not a clip, but a tweet. So Ron Paul staffer stabbed in broad daylight yesterday in DC, just off of H Street. I don't know who it was that attacked his staffer, but yeah, they seriously stabbed him in the head, stabbed them in the head. I don't know who it was, but I don't know. First, when I first started reading, I was like, oh, that's kind of shades of Seth Rich. No, was Hillary in town? I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. This is a funny meme. Imagine being a time traveler and going back to 1990 and telling everyone one day Roseanne Barr will be better looking than Madonna. That's just funny to me. Oh my God, Madonna's trying too hard. You guys can catch us on Beauty and the Boomer. We make fun of her all the time. Okay, I make fun of her all the time. I love this tweet from Johnny Vedmore. You guys are going to have to tune in on Friday. I got Johnny Vedmore coming, and it's going to be an amazing show. I have done so much research for this show. Johnny is so amazing. He loves history like I do. So it's pure joy to go in and read his articles. And yeah, so I got a great closer for that day. It's going to be fun. Join us Friday morning for Uncensored. We're giving Oz the day off. And yeah, Johnny Vedmore will be hanging out with me. So do you see Elon says starting April 15th, only verified accounts will be eligible to be in for your recommendations. So recommended for you will only be people that are verified. Because right now it says for you and then it says verified, right? And then it says mentions, I want to say. This is the only realistic way to address advanced AI bot swarms taking over. It is otherwise hopeless losing battle. Voting in polls will require verification for the same reason. Now, you guys know I went and got me one of those fancy blue checks a couple of months ago. And then Twitter went after somebody. And I literally wrote them and said, this is bullshit. I'm not going to pay you $8 a fucking month for you guys to censor and shut down. You were supposed to save us, Elon. Why didn't you save us? We all knew it wasn't going to get better, but... So Johnny says, if the Department of Defense was to ruin Twitter, it looked just like this. Yay. As we know, all Twitter is a Department of Defense military industrial complex bullshit pushing site. And Elon, Elon's been fighting with Biden over how many taxes he paid. And he says that he lost money. He lost, $20 billion buying Twitter? That's what he wants you to believe. But don't forget where he got that fucking money. It was our military industrial complex that has made Elon the man that he is and the most powerful, richest man in the world. So yeah, thanks, War Machine. Oh, Oz, did you add this? I see some garbage and I see Macron. Let's check this out. Oz dropped this on the deck for us.
Beth Hart.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this? Baby, she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Baby, we can see things the same. Now don't you wait or hesitate. Move before they raise the clock and rain. Oh, right now, baby, oh, right now. took her home to my place. Watching every move on her face. She said, look, what's your game? It's trying to put me in shame. I said it's slow, don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? She said, love, Lord above. Now you trying to check me into love. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now. I said now, all right now, baby, it's all right now, child. All right, all right now, all right now, yes and now, all right now, all right now, baby, it's all right now.
Great job, Oz. Beautiful. You and Linda killing it. I am so excited about the graphics works that we are actually getting to. I mean, we had a vision when we started this years ago, and it's so satisfying to watch everybody starting to fulfill those goals. So thank you to everybody who's helping us, supporting us, and getting us to where we're at. So that's a really powerful video. Thank you, Oz. Let's see if I can get it. And great cover. Oh my God, I love Beth. I love Beth Hart. Oh, her what was the song about the rain? Oh, I love that song. Love it, love it, love it. I think that's pretty much the end of it. But hey, let me tell you where, guys, I'm going to be today. Guess what? I'm hanging out with Comrade Misty Putin's buddy over on TNT Radio. So I think that I want to say she's up all night. She sent me a thing that said like 11 p.m. Eastern time, which is 8 o'clock West Coast. So yeah, we're going to be partying late tonight. So yeah, check that out. And of course, I've got Johnny on Friday, so join me for that. Johnny Vedmar. I'm supposed to have Andrew Zigman stop by. He's working. I'm trying to just record. Maybe we'll do like an hour sit down. I'll just record it and then throw it up as a prime or as a premiere. But I love to have you guys there. You guys you tell me things to say and ask. And I'm an interactive type of person. So maybe we'll just go live. So just if you see a notification, that's what that is. So we got lots of plans this week. And yes, I'm reaching out to Farron. We will get a CC Gals. And if you don't know what CC Gals is, Farron and I occasionally do a court type TV show, and we are the court. See you next Tuesday. And that's what CC stands for. So you can join me for that. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Amber's got something going on tomorrow night. Gosh, I can't remember. Amber, tell us who you're going to be on tomorrow. I know Amber should be hanging out. Anyways, I will be tweeting that link out too as soon as I see it. So Misty does rock. I love hanging out. I go, well, what are we going to talk about? And she's like, whatever. So you never know. Jax, thank you so much. Much love and respect. Really enjoy your shows. Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoy your tweets. So you kill it. I see these masters on Twitter, and I wish I was like that, but I'm not. Misty's a master. Jack's a master. Shelly's a master. I wish I could be a master tweeter, but I'm not. But I watch the best, so maybe I'll get better. Amber on a Wednesday show. Yes, she's doing a guest spot. Let me look on my phone and I will tell you who it is. She sent it to me last night. Damn Apple phone. I can't wait to get rid of this damn phone. In 2016, I had an Android, and everybody was like, you have to get off Android because the encryption on it's terrible. The government will go in. At least Apple protects you from the government getting into your shit. Well, we know better now, right? So he's a great storyteller. I know that's Johnny. I'm on Hervo's show. Hervo. Maybe that's a mistype because I don't know who that is. Hervo's show on Wednesday night. Is Amber in the chat? Amber, tell me where you're going to be. Anyways, I will put a link out to it. If you guys aren't watching Brave New Future and Amber King, you need to be, because she has really been right on the mark for so many things now. Julian Assange, you guys, we have another event. This is the 4-year anniversary of him being in Belmarsh. That'll be April 11th, 4 to 6 p.m. outside the Department of Justice. If you don't know where that is, it's not hard to find. Just look for the FBI and the DOJ, and they all live right next door to each other. And you can write Julian Assange. Please write Julian Assange. But if you write him, write in large lettering. His eyes are not good any longer, and he has a hard time seeing. Okay, guys, I think we made it through that show. I made it through my Monday show. I know it's Tuesday, but it was a Monday show. You guys were great. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, I will see you guys on Friday. I think that's my next show. No show on Thursday, guys. To hell and back, Pasta's in Cuba, dancing it up and playing, dominoes. So as soon as Pasta's back, probably next week, we'll do it to hell and back. So we're just not going to do one this week. And yeah, I will be there on Friday. So I got a great closer. This is a Deftones cover, Change. And this is Violet Orlandi. I love her. She's got a great voice. Dirty Dollars. Pure character exaggeration, stretches his arms forward to offer a cup of coffee. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the donations today. Thank you so much for Aram over on the Rockfin. Thank you. And everybody who gave over on the YouTube. So we appreciate you. You keep the lights on. We can't do this without you. So I will see you Friday. Well, unless you check me out on Misty. Have a good day.